Right, well, we've pretty much reached the end now, so the model's complete. I've stuck on all the last bits and pieces and done the last bit of detail painting. So we've got things like the brass guns have gone in, they've been painted dark grey with a black wash and a bit of graphite on the end from a lead pencil. Same is true for the wing guns. They've gone in, they're just straight out of the kit. We've got some dots of red and green paint on the wing tips, which have had some clear glue over them for the lenses for those lights. There's a dab of clear glue in the little observation window holes. Canopies have gone on, the radio hatch has been prized open and then glued back in the open position. Propellers on, it's all had a matte varnish. I've applied some pastels to the wings here, so using a stiff, fairly short brush. That's been a bit of black pastel's been rubbed onto the brush and then rubbed into place there. Same for the exhausts. Wheels are on. They've had a little dust with a mix of yellow and brown and black pastels all ground up on a piece of sandpaper together to make a sort of mud tone that I've just dry brushed onto there. So that's really it. The only other technique which I think is worth covering, and which I probably should have done before I finished all those things, is dot filters. So what we do with these is we take a tiny little bit of oil paint. So in this case I'm going to put a dab of this Naples yellow on the cowling up the front here, put a couple of dots of that on, and then we'll also put a couple of dots of white. We'll put one here, and let's have one on the spine as well. I decided to really not worry about doing a dot filter on this particular aircraft, but let's just show it anyway. I'll put a couple of dots on the wings. So then you take the usual flat soft brush, and what I'm going to do is just work this into the surface. This needs to be on a matte coat really, and we'll need a little bit of white spirit, I think, just to dampen the brush. So just a dab on the end of the brush and then wipe it all as far as possible off, so it's like dry brushing. And then we'll be able to work this into the surface. This is good for subtly changing the colour of particular panels. In this case I'm looking to make it look as if there's a bit more sun bleaching happening on the top than elsewhere. But also things like rain streaks, not really the kind of weathering that's applicable to aircraft specifically, but it's very useful on armoured fighting vehicles, and it just gradually and very subtly breaks up the colour of these panels and will just alter it very slightly, so it's a very slight pale filter. It can be useful just to break up the colour scheme really and add a bit of variation as we go along. Let's have a couple more dots of the white was working quite well up here, so I'll persevere with that. The real advantage with oil paints all round is their long drying time, so you've got plenty of time to mess around and tweak them, and if it all goes disastrously wrong, you just wash them off with white spirit. So you can carry on blending these and getting exactly the variation, the finish you're after, and taking as long as you want really. It takes a couple of days for oil paints to fully dry. So there we go, that's the last of the techniques I'm going to look at here. It's done, really. So I'll take some final photos and post those up in the video. Other than that, we're done. So I hope this has been instructive. I hope it will help anybody make better models. That's the aim of it, without breaking the bank, without going crazy and spending a fortune on airbrush, compressor, tools, pigments, powders, different paints. You can do a lot with just a little, really. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye bye.